Come here.
Oh, what?
All three of us right here. Look
Okay.
at the camera. Come on, follow me. Just follow me.
Okay.
There we go. All right, so today on Cooking with the Klopps, we have pork ribs, baked beans, and coleslaw. Mimi Klopp, Brent Klopp, and Brent Klopp. We're going to show you how we made this. Let's dig in.
Okay.
Today on Cooking with the Klopps, we're going to be preparing some pork ribs, Dad? Is that what I said?
That's what we got.
All right, so we got pork ribs.
Slow cooked pork ribs.
Slow cooked pork ribs, okay. Are we basting them in anything?
No, we're not basting them. We're going to use a dry rub.
Dry rub, okay.
And what's most important, these are going to be cooked for about 2.5 hours on very low heat.
Okay.
On indirect heat.
Sounds good. What time is it, by the way?
It is 10:45.
Well, I guess it's
10:38.
5 o'clock somewhere because we got vodka
Yeah, I
tonics
know.
going.
Yeah, that's a normal
That's
thing.
our
to start
inaugural
the day.
drink. Mom, you're going to be making coleslaw today, right?
That's right. I'm going to do coleslaw, and I'm going to do baked beans.
Okay.
And we're also going to have, for a little appetizer, we're going to do steamed artichokes.
Okay.
Okay.
So today on Cooking with the Klopps.
Okay, so the first process, I mean, I try to make my ribs and all my grilling very simple. Because you like to have the meat be the star of the show.
Okay.
Not the seasoning. The seasoning is supposed to be enhancing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut all this wrappers off.
Trash? Where's the trash going? What happened to our music?
Wrapping here. Okay, you got to be careful, little woman over there, because we've got blood in it.
Yes, here.
Or juice.
There we go.
I think we got too much ribs, but
Well, I'll take a to-go package with me.
yeah, I don't think that would be a bad idea. As long as we get our Tupperware back.
Can't promise you anything on that.
We should have had stock in Tupperware for all the
Here you
Tupperware
go,
we've
Mama.
given away.
I'm sure it's come back in spades.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like it was in Sunset and Thousand Oaks.
Right.
Cooking, music grooving in the
Right.
background.
Right.
Now, I do not do what a lot of people do in their ribs. A lot of people try to take this membrane and pull it off. I really don't do it. I think it allows the meat to stay together, and it just pulls the meat off the top when you chew on it. So everybody's got their own thing they want to do, but I just don't do it. So my next thing is a very simple rub. Okay,
So we're talking about the membrane. What did you do here?
Yeah, I don't cut that. I don't pull the. A lot of people take and
The
put a
lining?
knife in it and pull the membrane off the back of the ribs. I don't do that because when you slow cook it, it helps the meat maintain its integrity and stay on. So everybody's got their own little version. Now, the one thing I discovered recently that really is good is I was able to find what they call a chunky garlic stir-in paste. And what this allows you to do when you're doing slow cooking, it allows that garlic to just permeate on there without burning.
What's that called?
It's called a chunky garlic stir-in paste. And
Okay.
all you do is just take it and rub it on.
So it kind of matches the quality of hand crushed garlic yourself versus.
Well, yeah, but it's almost like it becomes a syrup or a pasty type of a.
Okay.
And that'll just stay so nice. And then what we do, we take garlic powder. Plenty on there.
Would you say that's pretty liberal? Like, don't be cautious
Yeah,
with
you
it,
don't
or
have
are
to,
you conservative with it?
No, you can put it. Well, I guess you can always put too much of anything, but this is generous
Generous is the word.
disbursement.
Okay.
Then what I do, I coat it with a cooking oil. This happens to be canola cooking oil from Kirkland brand from Costco. Now we just turn that over. Oh, look at those. Look at those babies.
we should finish this one first. Is that the deal?
Yeah. I thought we'll finish that one today. That's a lot of vodka in there.
Aren't we Klopps? Aren't we
Well,
predisposed
yeah,
to
but
the drinking
I'm
gene?
I'm a little older than I was. I can't compete with your age.
Look at me. Do I look like I'm still drinking?
Look at the drinker.
Alright, let me slice up some lime.
Some beer.
So, let's see.
Oh, don't push those buttons. You
What
can
buttons?
only cut on the, yeah, because you're turning gas on when you press that button.
I don't want to blow the place up.
Not yet.
Where are you going, Dad?
I'm just going over here. We will start the ribs in about 8 minutes.
Okay.
Alright.
All right.
Hey, cheers. And remember, you got to drive.
God bless. All right.
It's early. We're just getting started. But after that catastrophe, I need a drink.
Your son grabbed the door, so you're all set. Don't trip. Okay. I'm going to start setting up.
Whoops.
Because, yeah.
Is it hot?
No. Get this puppy going.
So you're going to cook them on that plate?
Yeah.
Indirect cooking?
Indirect cooking, yes.
Okay. So you don't preheat the grill, you just let it...
Okay, then you can turn this all the way. Turn it all the way to the bottom.
Wow, that's super low. Okay.
And all we're going to do is look at it every 30 or 45 minutes to see how it's doing.
Okay.
But after 2 hours and 15 minutes, it's done. We don't have to do it. I don't flip them. I don't do nothing.
Okay.
And we'll see how they taste.
All right, let's see what Mom's got going on. You were starting to say that we did what?
When you guys were younger and we lived in Sunset, there was a foyer, and weekends I was home at least, and people would come over and we'd start cooking about 11 o'clock in the morning, either hot dogs, hamburgers, or some crazy stuff. Finish up with with ribs, chicken, and steaks at night. It was like an all day just cooking. Mom would have the potato salad, the coleslaw,
Well, I don't know if you know
chocolate cakes.
I don't know if you know it or not, but when you were gone, we did the same thing. All of our friends would come over and
Yeah.
we'd go to the beach. And then the beach would be hazy and overcast. And so as a result, we would go back to the house, swim in the pool, and then go, what do you guys want? Chicken, burgers, dogs?
Uh-huh.
Once in a while you get somebody say filet mignon, and depending on how many were left, we would decide whether or not we would do that, because Dad would be pissed if his filet mignon wasn't there when he got home.
Yeah.
Who ate the last one and didn't tell me?
Well, the one thing I remember loving and enjoying so much, and those were the veal chops, and Dad showed me how to cook them. So even if he was out of town, we could still have veal chops. But today, I mean, we used to get these veal chops, they were like that thick.
Yep.
And I remember they were like $13 a piece. Well, today you couldn't touch that for the size. They were like giant.
Like $25 a piece.
Oh my God, maybe $35 a piece. Anyway, so it was amazing.
Well, you guys definitely gave us a passion for food and eating
Oh,
good food.
we love to cook. I know all of you boys love to cook.
Now, what do you got going here? So you're gonna...
Well, first I'm going to figure out. Oh, okay, it's in there. As long as I cover for my blade. I'm taking the skin off the carrot, and then I'll be chopping up the coleslaw.
Okay.
And I always did the carrot first.
Now, this coleslaw recipe is controversial, to say the least.
And why is that?
Well,
Because someone in the family doesn't like it.
yes.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, well, that's starting to change.
well.
Oh,
anyway.
Brant likes coleslaw now?
Well, no,
he
not
won't-
exactly.
He sneaks and eats it, but won't let people know he eats it.
Brant, I think you're busted.
Oh boy, this is funny.
But
So for those who don't know, there are 5 BKs in this family.
That's true.
Starts with him, it's Brent Klopp, Sr. I'm Brent Klopp, vicariously Jr., not really Jr., I don't have his middle name. Then there's Brad, Brandon, and Brant.
I was the hippies generation.
Mom,
so.
why did you do that to us?
Well, I kind of think you're lucky you're not Moonstone or Moonbeam or something, because in my time, all the children born had these really weird names. So
Look at that.
I just decided, oh, wonderful.
Oh, look at
Come
this,
on in.
Brent.
Oh, look, take a picture. Wilson.
Wilson,
You
you mind
bet.
being on camera? It's too late now.
Your camera.
Break it there.
It's a yellow croaker.
Beautiful. Did you get that from the beach?
He bought
Yeah.
it at the store.
I caught some perch this morning, but this
You
is
bought
the
it.
biggest
You
one.
bought it at the market there in the harbor. Yeah, dude.
We're glad we got your fish. It's official. You
It's
caught
official.
So what are you gonna do to that bad boy?
I'm gonna fillet it out.
And then what? Fry it.
Yeah, fried them. I had fish yesterday. I caught 3 yesterday, so I'm just gonna put them in the freezer. I
Where'd
put
you
them in
catch
ice
him? Where'd you catch him?
over at
Ventura Harbor.
no off of Wainimi Road
Oh, okay.
over they call it Arnold Road, Arnold Beach.
Yep. And what kind of fish is that?
It's yellowfin croaker. Supposed to say were really good to eat.
Light, fluffy.
What's that? About 1.5 pounds?
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Beauty.
I caught a smaller one, a little one that's like about half this, and I caught a few perch.
Oh,
So I caught about 7 today.
Very good.
wow. That was
Awesome.
a lucky day.
Yeah, I was out there yesterday. It's just amazing. I caught 3 yesterday. So that it's just different. Every day is, you know, it's a good day when you see the pelicans all sitting on the
for
water.
Sure. Yep.
Looking for scraps.
Yeah. Well, no, they're diving.
They're
and
hunting.
They're hunting.
They're
Absolutely.
hunting.
They used to go after our bait tank when we'd be taking the boat out.
Uh-huh.
They'd swarm right all over the bait tank, try and get in there and get the bait. So anyway, congratulations.
Thank you.
Have a-
Well, we're doing some ribs. We're thinking, what time, Dad?
Yeah. Definitely. We're gonna have
Around,
ribs and
2 o'clock.
coleslaw.
He's got
Yeah.
more ribs to feed an army, so welcome to come over and join us,
Wow,
or sample
thank
at
you.
least.
Okay.
We'd like all
He
this
gets
feedback.
a plate either way, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
He winds up giving us all kinds of crazy stuff.
All right, so we were saying, Mom,
Yes.
coleslaw, cooking. I don't know what we were talking about. Oh, so we were talking about why did you name all the boys
with a B.
with a B?
And so I was thinking that, you know, I'm not crazy, but I would really like all of my boys to have the same initials as my husband. So that was the game plan. I didn't want a junior because I used to know guys all the time would say, I hate my name, I'm a junior. So that's why I changed your middle name.
So how did that work?
Well, it worked out great because you're named after my dad. Yours is Brent Joseph. And
As I remember it, you said you wanted me to be named after your 2 favorite men in your life.
you're
how I
exactly
remember it.
correct. That's exactly what I did. So you're named after your dad and your...
That you were a hopeless romantic, and that's why we were all BK. So.
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
I was a hopeless romantic. Still am.
Yes, aren't we all?
53 years. Okay.
So,
all right.
coleslaw time.
Yes, and what we do is I just got the skin off the carrot. I have that ready to chop. I'm going to cut up the cabbage.
Is that a La Machine or what
This is a
grinder is that?
Cuisinart.
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 That's 40 years old.
I don't, it's pretty old.
That is?
Yeah.
So
it is.
my point was, I remember when Brandon was born, that was when those food processors came out.
Uh-huh.
And Brandon lasted about, I don't know, by the time he was 6 months old or 8 months old, he was already on whatever we were cooking, whether it was
That's
spaghetti, steak, burgers, it was all grinded up in the La Machine.
In this thing.
Yeah.
That's right. I used to make
That's been
baby
a
food
staple.
in here, all
Yep.
kinds of things.
That's
I still
been a
have...
staple in our...
Yep.
That's gotta be at least
Knock on
30,
wood.
35 years old.
So, anyhow, I've seen the new ones. Paulette has a new one. Paulette is our cousin. And it's much quieter. But it doesn't have as big of a container. It's a little bit smaller, but still,
But it's
Cuisinart.
quieter, but it's not as powerful. Those things are nasty.
Oh, yeah, well.
Well, I would guess, based
That
on
would
the
cut
amount...
cement.
I was going to say, back in the day, how coleslaw got started, in Philadelphia, where I grew up, my family always made a wonderful potato salad, which we might cover in another episode, which has similar things in it as the coleslaw. But as time went on, I visited my husband's grandparents who lived in Richland, which is a community in Lancaster County, and Pennsylvania Dutch, and she made a pepper cabbage, which was sweeter. So I kind of took a little bit of her recipe and a little bit of my family's recipe from the potato salad to come up with the one that I make in the coleslaw. And it seems to be very popular no matter where I've lived. Everybody always wants me to make the coleslaw when we do potluck. So I'm still doing it.
Hey, some of my fondest memories are coming home from band rehearsal at like midnight when I was on we lived on the Arbalest house.
Yeah.
And there'd be my chuck roast, potato carrots in the microwave waiting for me, and then a plate of coleslaw in the fridge.
Yep.
And it was so good that I would eat it at like freaking midnight. Probably not a good idea.
Mom made coleslaw last weekend. She gave a container to Wilson.
Well, see, here's
And
the
Wilson was making a brisket.
Yeah.
Oh.
And when Mom brought over the coleslaw, he was telling everybody, he said, all you want to do is just take...
Please. He said, he gave me the brisket and he said, listen, all you got to do is slap some coleslaw on top of this brisket and it'll make you want to slap your mama. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. So anyway, that's just the way we're going here. I'm flying high, and as you can hear, it's pretty loud.
It's fun.
It's fun. Okay. Before I had this grinder, I used to grind by hand.
I remember those days.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can't tell you. Once I put my hand in there, chopped off the top of one finger, you know, and I'm like, what? That was the last time I put my hand in there. It wasn't on this machine. It was actually the hand grinder. When you scrape it,
I tell you, it would be something. Is one day we could get all the families together, and we just do sit around, and each family cook something a little bit different, and
or
just
No, I would love to do like get a house for a week, and everyone takes a different shift, a different night to
not
cook.
even that, but just make different things that go along with the meals. Because all of this family has good cooking recipes, and we certainly have a mixture of influences.
Yeah.
My background is my grandparents were French, and my grandmother was an amazing French cook, and I could never keep up with her abilities, but I always felt like I contributed a major something to the family history when I actually came up with my version of homemade bread recipe, and that's always a big hit. And unfortunately, I've been able to teach almost all of my daughters-in-law how to make the homemade bread so that their family always has this wonderful holiday bread.
We just had a ghost incident. The ghost,
What do you mean?
well,
Nope.
for years,
It's been you.
the
And
ghost
Brent
is
thought it was
this
him.
unknown entity that comes and moves things on us. I literally grabbed a roll of duct tape, ripped a piece off, covered up that piece of towel above the vent there to adjust the lighting, and now I can't find my reel of tape. But anyways, so Mom is making progress on the coleslaw, so
Yes.
it's just
I am.
reducing the full head of cabbage down to like, what, 1 inch by 1 inch pieces, and then just getting ground up in there.
Right. And I have a giant bowl that I've kept for years, and I'm
So
going
it's
to use
one
that.
head of cabbage, one
Carrot.
good carrot,
Yep,
good stock carrot.
that's a good start. Okay, so now,
All right, so we've got the cabbage and 1 carrot.
yeah, we got to get some more.
How many
stuff.
people will that serve?
Oh, that serves a lot of people. I could serve 10 people.
Okay.
At least.
Easy, 20 people.
Okay.
It depends on the size of the serving. In our family, would probably, with just the boys and us, that would last maybe 3 days.
Okay.
Okay.
Mom forgets it was eaten 24/7.
Well, one of the things I was saying earlier was that, you know, you bought 2 racks of ribs. It's like one thing we never figured out how to do was not cook for like 50 people.
Your
We're
mother
we're better at it now.
Your
What'd you say
mother's
there?
the worst.
About?
Cooking for
much.
small people.
Yeah, I still.
She makes this size coleslaw for us.
Bring, bring. Did you hear that, Dad?
When I
What's
make the
that?
Bring, bring.
No, where?
I think you need to answer the phone.
My phone's right
It's for you. That's pot calling.
Oh.
The kettle black when it comes to making too much food. You're the king of Costco.
Oh my God.
No, you're the king of the soda run.
When we were raising the boys.
Well, thank God for Costco because the soda runs were killing us. So
What's the name of that store? What was the name of the store in those days? That wasn't Albertson. What's the name of the store that was down there in Thousand Oaks?
well, there's Albertsons, Ralph's, and Vaughn's. You
Yeah,
had to go to
all
all
three.
of them, and CVS. So
Which
when
one we were buying the sodas at mostly? Was that Ralph's?
all of them, because the scheme was they limited you to like
10 cases. Of
10
soda.
cases per
But
customer.
24 packs. 24 cases.
So he would make me go on a soda run once every couple of months and get, you know, and try and go back at night and fool the managers, and they would stop us. They would say, "Hey, you guys already bought, you know, 24 cases today. You can't buy any more." And if we couldn't get the soda, you were a little frustrated with us. Don't know what that was about, but
What I remember about soda is that we always had bottles and bottles of soda and cans of soda in the garage. And I had one rule. We also had these liter bottles. Now, if you have a liter bottle in the refrigerator and you take the last glass or the last bit of soda, one thing you got to do is go down to the garage and replace the bottle of soda. 4 boys, they would never do that. They would leave a mouthful of soda in the bottle in the refrigerator.
that's because
and
we
say,
knew about
"Well,
the
I didn't
backwash.
ta-
We were
I
drinking
did-
it straight from the bottle.
I didn't take the last drink," and I'd be like, "Ay, ay,
Well,
ay,
you see, people thought we were nuts. If you remember, Brent, you tell the story about getting the soda. People really didn't necessarily want to believe we'd buy 60, 70 cases of 24 cases, 24 each case of the soda.
Well,
But what they don't realize is that it's the 4 boys, me and Mom, and your friends.
Yep.
Exactly.
And
All the friends.
You guys would be in and out of the pool 2 to 3 times a day, change your clothes, different set of friends sometimes. But all in all, it wouldn't take much for the amount when you had the 4 of you guys and your friends, which was another 8 to 10. That's 18 people. So each one has a soda. That's almost 1 case of soda.
Do you remember?
So it was no problem going through 3 cases of soda like in 2 hours.
So I got so tired of having to go get cases of soda,
Yeah.
I called the distributor and was getting a vending machine delivered to the Thousand Oaks house based on the quantities. All I did was call and they said, "How many do you need?" And I said, "We're going through 60 cases a month." "Okay, we'll get you a vending machine and we'll refill it." Right? I don't know. And then when they found out it was a residential address, they said, "Unfortunately,
I can't do that.
on the day of delivery," so we just had to go back to getting cases of soda. All right, so progress update.
It's like it doesn't even look like it's cooking, but smell it.
Now you can smell it. Looks good.
The fragrance.
Yes. Say that again, Dad.
You can smell that coming through the window.
Yeah.
The ribs.
The
Cooked
garlic.
by smell.
When
So now, Mom, we're heading into mix stage on the coleslaw.
Yes.
So here we have the final product of what was
shredded
shredded in the, what was that machine called?
Cuisinart.
The Cuisinart.
Food process.
And then we have secret ingredients. What do we got? We got red wine vinegar. We got sugar.
I gotta get salt and pepper.
We got the real mayonnaise.
Ain't that the truth?
Okay.
Milk.
Is the salt out somewhere?
Oh,
Salt.
Right.
was it my turn to watch it?
There's a salt and pepper over here.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I put it there and forgot. Earlier. Okay, here we go. All right. So, first of all, let me just say this, that cabbage, if left alone, will throw water. But some of the spices like the vinegar and salt and things like that that I'm going to be putting in accelerate it and give it a different taste. In other words, whatever I make now, we're going to taste it. And it's going to be good, but it's not going to be as good as when we have it with our food because it will have fermented.
Needs to cure. Ferment.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So, I need my spoon. Yeah, this is my favorite spoon. It's just plastic, but it's easy to work with. A little salt. A little pepper.
Years of cooking.
Yeah, I can't
do you
tell
know?
you how much of this and how much of that. I just
Okay.
kind of go by look. And is this open, Dad? No. Would you open that for me?
Yeah, I can open it. Here, you hold this.
I'll wait till you open that.
It's okay. Got the important job.
I want
Yeah.
I want them to see how much of everything I
happened?
put
Stop.
in.
Oh no, the camera. It's just the display.
Okay.
I have to change the frequency of which it.
Oh,
You just touch it and it comes back. It's just
Okay,
for battery.
So Here's
preservation.
the one that really makes a big impact, and this is the vinegar. Yeah, I love red wine vinegar. I don't care what brand you use, but I have my favorites.
Symptoms can change so slowly over time you don't even notice. But new or changing symptoms can mean your PV is changing. Take
Okay,
notice.
now that's a
So that
beginning.
was like 6 seconds worth of shaking.
With your doctor.
Really?
But it's
Okay.
just as vital to
And
discuss
then
changing symptoms
I use a lot of mayonnaise. I better get the other one out.
CPD.
I want to make sure.
All right, peanut
Don't you
gallery.
don't overcorrect.
When was the last time you made coleslaw?
Well, you see, here's the funny
Make
part
sure you
is
have
it's
it peeled and ready to
basically
go.
my recipe that she's talking about.
Whoa, wait a second.
Came from Grandma,
Shots fired.
And I made it first time, and then she has improved on it with the mayonnaise and different things on it.
That's what I said. I took the recipe from my potato salad that I learned back in Philadelphia to his grandmother's pepper cabbage. I mixed them together, and that's how
Okay.
we came up with this.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
shame you never had a chance to taste Grandma's food.
Yeah.
Okay, look at that. Look at this stuff.
That's why I'm talking about
Is that like a whole container of?
Well, it could be. It'll, as I'm mixing it, I'll know what needs
Okay.
more to be added. Now, this
I need a knife.
is also a guess. This is a half a scoop the first time. I'm
Is that
doing
like a
another half a scoop.
tablespoon?
No, I don't know what you would call
Measuring?
it. It's about that much.
Okay.
Twice, and I may need more. We'll
Okay.
see as we get there.
Cooked to-
So, Mom's most famous recipe.
We taste as we go. Okay, so this needs more liquid. So we're gonna do a little of this. This was only half full when I started, so.
Okay. Is that whole milk? Regular
This
milk?
is whole milk. It's weird. If you don't use Best Food or Hellman's, as we call it back east, and you don't use whole milk, if you try to lighten it up with light mayonnaise or 2% or something, it won't taste the same.
Yep.
So I learned a long time ago, when you're going by a recipe that you love, don't change anything.
No true words have ever been more spoken. If it requires a certain recipe, follow the recipe. Don't make changes before you've made it the recipe way. And then you can change it after the fact.
Well, you won't
That's
like
our
it,
boy
exactly.
Brandon's problem. Well, he asked me for a recipe, then he changes it while I'm giving it to him, and then wants me to tell him how long to cook it. Tell me how that works.
That's a good look.
Brandon is an excellent cook.
Oh, absolutely.
Say that.
No doubt about it. I just had to throw that in there. I mean, because he's going to be on the
But don't
shows too.
duplicate a recipe you like the way I cook it and change it by smoking it when it wasn't smoked.
Wow.
And changing the cooking.
Wait a
method.
second. Again, this is the pot calling the kettle black. Dad, the phone's ringing. I think you need to pick it up.
Yeah, where's Brad? Brandon, I'm going to pick on him.
Brandon, or I should say Dad, with the recipes, is like always reinventing it as he goes.
That's true.
He doesn't
Well,
stick to the same recipe.
That's the hardest thing, to try to pin
That
him
is
down.
my biggest problem. I cannot duplicate.
Yeah.
You can. We can.
He can. He comes pretty close almost
close.
every time, but it's interesting.
I'm a fusion
It'd be
cook.
fun
I
if
don't
we
know
get all
what
the way up to Asian cooking that you learned when you were traveling. That would be fun.
Well,
That's looking
people
like I remember.
understood the guy who had the best idea, the best concept in the world was Emeril Lagasse. You never can make a mistake.
Right. It's
You
just
don't make
cooking.
a mistake, you're not going to learn.
Well, Julia Roberts was
And you can always-
Julia Childs was kind of like that too. I loved when she would, whoops, well, we just put it right back in. When she'd spill or something,
Yeah.
she was a character. I watched that with my grandmother as a child.
So I'm thinking maybe a little more mayo.
I'm thinking a little more mayo too, but we're gonna give it a dry run here. Gotta get my hand on the fork. Got it. No, that's a knife.
Why a little more mayo? Is it too runny?
No, it doesn't look.
I can't find a fork. Well, I'll use a spoon. Yeah, we're just that is actually the fermenting process. The vinegar, the sugar, the salt, it's all starting to meld together.
okay.
And you don't want to have it too mayonnaisey because it defeats, I think, a lot of the flavor. Like I
Gotcha.
said, the pepper cabbage, this is similar to that, but it also has the ingredients that I put in the potato salad. The vinegar, the salt, the pepper, the sugar, just lesser amounts. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Oh my goodness.
But Actually, all 4 of you boys are good
That
cooks.
is pretty darn close.
We
You
had
all
good.
like to cook.
We all had good teachers.
Yep. Do a little
You
of this.
like to eat good.
Yeah.
Because,
All right, let me have a sample.
well, I know it's close.
Okay, well, let me. How am I doing this?
It's close, isn't it?
That is like the closest it's been in a while. That's like right on, like flavor wise.
Well, I thought I want you to taste. Okay. And it's going to still ferment.
Yeah,
What do you think?
it's got the right
Do I
sweetness
need?
with the
I
right
don't
bitterness.
need more sugar. I don't need more
No,
vinegar.
I think the sweetness is great, and
Good.
the red wine vinegar has a nice bite to
Little
it.
tang, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, now I'm
All
gonna
right, so when
put
you've
it
got
in.
it mixed,
That's what
looks
it
like
looks
that.
like. And you can see, maybe you can or you can't.
Yep.
There's a little pink cast. That's the vinegar,
okay,
and that tells me it's dead on. So we're gonna put that away.
that is tasty.
And get it in the fridge. Cheat.
All
So
right.
so here's my cheat for baked beans.
Okay.
Whatever brand you like, you buy, and you take all the liquid off.
Yeah.
Don't make it too dry. You made it too dry last night.
I may have cooked it a little too long. And my cousin Paulette says she makes them the same way. So that's one.
Oh, you needed to keep the lid.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, I
I
missed
got it. It slipped out of my finger.
So you really think Epstein killed himself?
No, absolutely not.
We don't want that on there.
It'll get at it. I get to
Okay.
nothing that will be unflattering. Hopefully, will be on here.
Okay. All right. So that's good.
But no, I
Did
don't.
you see the last episode of Yellowstone?
I haven't watched it yet.
Whoa!
It's so good.
I gotta
Nick's
pick up.
Godfather looked wimpy, man.
Wow. Okay.
There's
Well,
a scene in there knocked his socks off.
so back to the Epstein comment. It's no different than House of Cards. The person
Yeah,
that had
well,
all the
yeah,
dirt
yeah.
on anybody got killed, and they killed, you know.
Well, I was trying to get into this new series that just broke on Netflix called Family. It's supposedly about the background and strength of this family, man. This secret cult that controls the politics of the world.
Wow.
And this is not
All
home
I
cooking.
know
Like I
is
said,
that
this is
some big
cheating,
people
but
didn't want any more
you
coming
can
out
doctor
with
up
Epstein.
anything, right?
What's that, Mom?
I said this is cheating. This is not homemade, but I said you can doctor up anything.
That's
All right. Now, if I had maple syrup, I'd put a little bit of maple syrup, like a tablespoon, in here as well. But I just had the brown sugar, so the ketchup and brown sugar, salt and pepper. I made it once like that. It was just as good.
I'm sure.
So,
I'm getting hungry.
You know, all we're trying to show is the simplicity of all these recipes, which will make just really incredible food.
yeah, it doesn't have to
So
be
many people go
complicated.
to all this effort to overspice, overinfuse
That's
things.
enough.
Just the most simple way, and it just comes out just fantastic.
So what do you
Yeah.
think that was like? 3 teaspoons of brown sugar?
Yeah. No, 4.
Tablespoon. Okay.
4.
3 teaspoons of brown sugar. Tablespoon of ketchup.
Well,
Little
more of
salt and
that. I'm
pepper.
gonna put more ketchup in.
Okay.
I'm just checking it for now. I want to see how it tastes. You can always add more. That's my philosophy. Just taste. Very important. Taste everything. A lot of people don't, and that's their mistake.
When she finishes this, we'll go check the ribs.
Okay.
And I just do these in the microwave for like 4 minutes, and that heats them up, and then they're perfect. And they taste really good with any kind of rib. Pork rib, beef rib, any kind of beef even, or pork.
Oh, you should have had the beef ribs. I'll make beef ribs for you.
Well, we've got plenty of episodes to come, so.
Yeah.
The beef ribs are just...
Okay, so now to
Did you ever
taste
have,
it,
the ribs over at RJ's,
a little more ketchup.
over in the Beverly Hills area, it's called RJ's.
Uh-huh.
I mean, these are just, and they're not barbecue. You know, I learned my lesson. I thought there was a difference between grilling and barbecue, and what I thought grilling was dry rub, and barbecue was wet. Now I come to find out barbecue, all it means is slow, indirect cooking, whether
That's
it's
what
wet
we do.
or dry. Grilling is open faced over a flame,
Mm-hmm.
not indirect. Whereas I
Perfect.
do a lot of indirect.
All right, beans are good.
Beans are
Indirect cooking is the way to go.
Put it in
Because
the
then it's less
micro.
chance of burning stuff,
Yeah.
right? And it lets the juices sort of cure the
Yeah,
meat.
and your Aunt Paulette has a heck of a thing she did that she made for us one time. It's called reverse
Sous vide.
searing on steaks.
Oh.
My goodness gracious.
Reverse searing is better than the sous vide.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Well, we'll have to go down to San Diego and do an episode of Cooking
Yeah.
with the Williams.
Oh, and they've got an oven and I can do some baking because I don't have an oven here. And Alexander, the last time we were down, I didn't bake anything that particular time, but he said, I gotta hand it to you, Mimi, you're one hell of a baker. So I would love to bake something.
Well,
At Paulette's house. And
things to come.
Their favorite, they have two favorites, which is a St. Louis gooey butter
man,
cake
Yeah, mom, yeah, but nobody can beat mom's coconut cream.
and,
cake.
and an Italian cream coconut cake. So.
Who are you calling?
Paulette.
Huh.
See if she's around.
You could have called her later. Now the beans are ready to go. We're gonna put them in the microwave. I'm gonna do some more dishes. Always remember to do this. When you don't, it messes up your oven.
Oven or
Okay.
microwave?
Microwave, well, microwave oven. This lets
Where did you learn that trick?
We're bringing
don't
you
know.
here. We're bringing you into a situation abstractly.
Hi. How are you?
we're filming.
Well, we're filming.
So I won't have you be on camera per se.
But we're filming. Brent's filming a family.
We're going to artichoke hearts,
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna make ourselves a little appetizer. We can sit and have us up a little booze and artichoke heart with some garlic butter and Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
And
So you cut the stalk really at the base.
the amazing thing is how these Instapots have changed a whole lot of things. This recipe is so simple.
I think I'm the only one that's probably hot in here.
Sorry, Mom.
That's okay.
So what are you doing? Like a... How much water?
Just a little bit that we can steam it. So what we're gonna do is all we do is take these artichoke hearts. Whoops, we don't need the paper.
Weren't they? Do you always cook them bottom down? I just.
Peanut gallery.
I'm learning.
Who's
I'm
cooking?
learning.
Yeah, always bottom down.
Aren't we all? Watch your fingers there, Pops. You're getting a little... We don't want to end up in the hospital in today's episode. So you cut the top off?
And the bottom. Cut it down to where it's... This allows it when it's steaming. Surprisingly, these are a little tough.
Before the knife is dull?
Possibly. Okay. Now, this is all we do. No seasonings. Oh, the only thing I put in here. Little garlic powder in the water. No. That's it.
And then how long is that?
Now all we're gonna do is we gotta get this to. Let me see.
It's not latched on that. I think it goes around this way.
Oh.
Here, look at the teeth right here. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so what time is it?
It is 12:12.
So I figure we'll about 12:30 to try some of this.
What do you mean? Start to cook or
No, to have some, eat some around 12:30.
whatever you want? I mean, when would they be ready? You want to check on the ribs and see what we're.
Well, we're gonna eat this before the ribs, so
Well, that's what I'm saying. So how far are the ribs going to be behind this?
about an hour and a half.
Well, why don't we wait a little bit then? Unless your belly button's touching your backbone, you want to get some sustenance.
But I'm gonna get my ass chewed out.
For what?
Dropping these doohickeys. By none other than the master. Is this what I think it is?
Can't go for that? Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah.
Little Garrett Hall and John Oates? A little bit of Philly white blue-eyed soul. Oh, so this is for the artichokes.
Yep.
Just a guess.
Okay, young man, can you give me some wine over there on
From
the floor there? You'll see the.
what is this? Blackstone?
Other one, no. The one bottle is not open.
Oh, you want the
Need my help?
red wine? The Galileo
Yeah.
Farms,
Did you need my help?
the Galileo
not yet.
family.
Okay.
So
Go
now
back
we're
to
gonna
your
put
garlic.
we're gonna put a little bit of this garlic paste in this.
Checking out the ribs.
Ah,
Man, they smell good from here. Hot.
well, these
So
are
at what
taking.
point do you flip them?
Don't.
Oh, you never flip them? You just let them
No,
slow?
these are.
Okay.
Turn this up a little bit. I think we're getting a little bit of too much wind. We shall see. Those are definitely going to take longer than 2 hours.
Got some place to be?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I was asking, when did you guys start discovering your love for cooking and like as a solution for family meals and all that stuff?
Well, that goes back quite a few years. Number one, your mom came from a family that was traditional comfort type of food cooking, French cooking, Irish cooking, stuff like that. I came from German descent, and it was all about the just beef in that. But I grew up prior to meeting Mom with basically all Jewish boys, and with them, food was very important at the deli level, meaning deli meats, the certain types of their food, and all of it had to do with all these infusion type of foods, whether it was gefilte fish, whether it was the chopped chicken liver, all these different type of things. But
Man, we got to do chopped chicken liver.
when
Mm.
Mom could never understand, when she first met my friends, I just walked in and said hello, and I just run to the refrigerator.
I had
And-
just met them, his friends. We went to their house. He introduced me. From the doorway, he walks by them. I come in, goes right to the refrigerator, and starts looking for food. And the way I was raised, you wait till someone offers you something. So I was like,
Well, they always had fresh deli in there. They had corned beef, they had the chopped chicken liver, they had gefilte fish, they had the tuna fish, they would have
matzo soup.
all the different kinds of
Everything.
Jewish food. And
Yeah.
so that's when I started. But one of the
Latkes.
things is I was more fascinated watching people grill, and I kind of like when I was in the Boy Scouts for a while, they did a lot of what they call, I guess, cowboy cooking on open grill. So I kind of got exposed there, and then. But Mom started out very primitive. Mom's biggest recipe was making chicken in boiled water with oregano.
That was my very first attempt
That was
at
her
cooking
entree.
anything. We were no children, maybe married 2 weeks, and I thought, well, I'm going to try something, you know. The funny
So wait.
story.
So one of my favorite meals was the broiled chicken with oregano.
Oh yeah.
And she would take pads of butter and stick it under the skin, and then throw garlic and oregano on the chicken.
That's light years away from the first
For
thing
the
she
beginning.
made.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, so I remember that by the time I was like 5 or 6 as a staple.
That's a very good chicken.
Amazing chicken.
Yeah.
Little Lowry seasoned salt.
Right.
A little bit of oregano, and then a pat of butter under each piece of skin, and salt and pepper.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah, and the skin used to get almost black, like almost crispy black.
Well,
but it had a good flavor to it.
The oregano would char, so I had to learn to cook it slower, and I still love that. It's a comfort food.
Yeah. But well, anyway, so go ahead.
For me, it was I learned a lot from my Jewish friends and their families because they own delis, and also just what good food was. And what I learned to realize is that if I like something, I have to learn how to make it myself. And that's kind of how we did. And Mom did the same thing. And Mom just escalated her cooking between probably starting out more with baking and some things, but then she started elevating herself with the different recipes. But for us, for some reason, it was no matter what we did, there was always food, music, and laughter.
Yeah.
Well,
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, there'd be music, there'd be food. I mean, you guys didn't know what it was not to have to listen to fucking music.
Right.
We have to do a bleep on that one.
but
anyway, let me just say this. I think for me, at watching your father cook, he really accelerated his abilities when he was traveling in the Orient. He met the general manager of the Ritz in Taipei, Taiwan, who was himself a gourmet French cook. So Daddy spent a lot of time at that particular hotel, and they always would have these cooking classes in Michel's kitchen. That was his name. So Daddy learned an awful lot. And then when he came home from these trips, he would watch all the cooking shows that started coming onto TV. And he just kept escalating. Also his cuisine and Asian cuisine, he kept taking risks and trying different things. One of the, I think, most flattering things that he did was when we were cooking in Hawaii with Joanne's family. Her father was Filipino, and Daddy made a oxtail soup, and Marcy is his name. Marcy said, "Oh my God, this tastes like my mother's."
I've never had oxtail soup, and it doesn't sound good, but
it's delicious. You would be licking the bones. Let me just tell you, it is very delicious. So those things, his travels, and heightened his experience. For me, we lived in so many different states, and everywhere we were, I wanted to learn a specific recipe from this particular location, and I picked up recipes as we went along, and so that's how I cultivated it. My mother was, if you ask the family, my mother could do anything with leftovers. She was a genius with leftovers. I mean, they were first overs to the rest of us. And I just tried to learn as much as I could from her, because the sneaky thing about my mother is, I will give my recipes to anyone who wants to enjoy them and have them. My mother would always leave something out.
Well, you've evolved. That's not always been the case. She never wanted to give out a recipe, so you've
that
paid
was
it forward.
years ago.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but yeah.
My God, when I showed, well, for instance, when I was teaching the girls, I started in Hawaii teaching Joanne, Brad's wife, how to do the onion bread.
Right.
And I also told her, because I know Hawaiians like sweet things, I said there's the same version of the bread part, but the stuffing is going to be different. You would use cinnamon, sugar, butter, raisins, nuts, whatever, and you use that as your filling.
Yep.
And so that's the one that she makes at holiday time. Dana makes the bread. Wonderful, delicious, perfect. Nicoletta, Brandon's wife, she makes a wonderful wheat bread. She took my white bread recipe, made it a wheat, but using similar ingredients except for the flour. And my mouth waters just talking about it.
Well, I think this is perfect because this is where it all started. So
yeah.
And then the generations can take it to their whole other level. But I think kind of knowing where we came from,
right?
Like my earliest memories are sitting around the table in St. Louis and Rich and Charlie's, like making that Rich and Charlie salad for the first time. Your guys' visceral response to like, oh my God, it's so good. It's like you guys are having mouth orgasms as you're eating Rich and Charlie's. They couldn't do it any better than this. And then it just evolved from there to. At least that's my earliest memory of like the excitement around food.
you don't have to become an expert at something. Once you like something, you learn that basic idea of how you do it. But I remember one thing. I was never a good. I didn't know the difference between a lot of wines, you know, which was better, whatever. All I know is if I had a bottle of wine I liked, I'd ask for the label.
Well, so
that's
this is
the
like
way
a
I
shout out to Michelle, your one of your grandchildren, my niece. She knows how to make the Rich and Charlie salad. Like, you taught her how to do it, and she,
Oh, you mean the Caesar salad?
Caesar salad. Well,
Yeah.
it's still
No, Rich and
reminiscent of
Charlie.
the Rich and
No,
Charlie
no,
salad.
no,
but-
Rich
she
and
does
Charlie.
a killer Caesar salad.
Salad, yeah. No,
Yeah.
Rich and Charlie's
And
is
Gabriel in Hawaii, Pop taught him how to make his guacamole and his salsa, and Gabriel makes it all the time. He was, how old was he, 10 when you taught him how to do it?
So these are
Yeah,
the things
12
we
and
discovered. Like, we
14,
got to
yeah.
make a guacamole
Yeah.
at one point
Yep,
from scratch.
right.
Just the cool
Yeah.
little.
Oh, yeah.
And his
then
grandmother's
they homemade
chocolate cake.
salsa.
I got to do that one too.
You
That's
do that.
Well, yeah. So I think
Look,
I get
you-
my
you- come
creative
on.
side. I get my creative side from Mom when it comes to when she made that R2D2 cake for me when I was 10, when Star Wars came out or wherever that was. It was amazing. And
Well-
then from there, the R2D2 cake turned into her making like naked booby cakes for Wade Getz and those people who were having birthdays. You remember that, Dad?
Yeah.
Well, just think about
Well, that's when my hands were
the
good. and I
type
could
of
do the decorating.
appetizers that we make. I mean, you've
Oh.
got the chopped chicken liver,
Oh, the chopped chicken livers.
the onion dip,
Let's talk briefly
shrimp,
about the chopped chicken
shrimp
liver.
dip, the
Well,
clam
and then
dip.
we got New Year's coming up, so we
Right.
should do a seafood linguine again.
That's perfect. 17 minutes.
All right, so we're doing 17 minutes on the artichokes.
Not just going to cook for 17 minutes, cool for 17 minutes, and then it's done.
All right, so about 30 minutes plus.
It's on.
All right, and then butter goes on at the end.
Yes,
Okay.
with Parmesan cheese.
All right.
Where did that
We'll
take
check back
go?
in.
I'm going to put them on the top.
All right, we're gonna do another inspection of the ribs. And they smell good. So what are you thinking?
Another half an hour.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah, see, look, see, they're starting to come, see the bones starting to.
Marrow.
Yeah.
Here, let's do it from this side. Let's see that again. Let's see what you got there.
Bones are starting to show.
Oh, so you want the meat to just shrink a little bit.
Oh, no, I think.
So we're digging in.
Watch, that steam is not going to burn you, dear.
And I think you already let the pressure out, right?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Whoa, I still warned you. Thank heavens you listened.
Need a bowl?
The bowls are right there on top of the microwave.
Okay.
So how long do those steam for?
15 minutes.
Okay, and then we let them sit for 15?
Yeah.
That's hot. Don't touch that silver pot, man. I don't know the hospital. He's separating the leaves so that when he puts the butter in and the cheese and all, they can go all the way down to the bottom, hopefully. Where the
What do we
hearts
have for cheese? Like Parmesan?
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Oh.
They were cooked in the garlic and whatever else he had in there. Would you like a tablespoon to spoon it out more evenly?
Master chef at work. Okay, so the butter. Oop.
Now, do you need me to melt more butter?
No. Honey butter and put these over on the table.
Okay.
Sit for a few minutes.
All right.
I'm gonna
All
bring.
right. So now we're going to sample the artichokes.
Anybody else want a little bowl?
No, good.
Okay.
Let's try these out.
this looks good.
Right. So you just
Mm-hmm.
Dip it in there.
Mm. Dunk it. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Isn't that good? Mm. Mm-hmm.
wow.
Oh shit.
Mm. Yummy, yummy.
Wow. Who would have thought Parmesan cheese, garlic, butter, and artichoke heart would be brilliant?
Oh, wait till we get to the heart. So for those who have eaten artichokes and enjoyed them, you want to have the heart, you have to cut off at the end of all the leaves you've eaten. You have to cut off what this looks like, which is basically as dangerous as fish bones. You want to cut all this out. Once you get that all out, you have this beautiful heart left that you can then cut up and dip in butter and love every morsel. Okay?
Yeah, we killed the leaves on the outside. That's what's left. So now we're
This
getting
is
the
what's
hearts.
left.
Cut it
okay.
up, honey.
Okay.
Throw that in here.
Yeah. Put this in here. Okay, and we'll put the other one on the other side. Okay. And don't forget to dip it in butter. It is delicious. That's garlic butter, by the way. Delicious. Okay, that's it. Right.
All right, let's sample these bad boys. It's got a fork.
There we go. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Mmm. No bar.
You need a fork. Okay.
No.
I got it. I got it. I get my finger wrapped around the corner. There we go.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Here's my artichoke heart.
The butter.
A little bit of butter. Or a lot of butter.
Mm.
Parmesan on there.
Mm, mm, mm. Mm. That's good.
Now that is sensational.
Rock on, man.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
See, there's a lot to be said taking time like this to eat.
Isn't it nice?
You don't have to eat everything at one time or have
No.
it set up. You just
This is the kind of stuff we dream of. This is the way we used to entertain. But if you can multiply our numbers by about 10, that's how we used to entertain. And even in St. Louis, when we had really big groups, and I was teaching dancing, and we were teaching disco and all that good stuff,
This is the post.
everyone told me, you know, next time instead of you having to do everything, how about we all bring our special dish from each family? And that was a big success.
Who's going to eat that last piece of heart?
Not me. You got it. You're the guest.
I don't have. I have to ask me twice.
takes a lot of work to get to it, but it's good, ain't it?
Freaking
It's
amazing.
worth it.
Yum.
My favorite saying is anything that tastes good takes a long time. It's not a quick, easy fix.
That
No.
was a sensational freaking appetizer.
Appetizer.
You know, with a drink and.
Well, there you go.
All right. Here's the crackling. Ah, how you feeling about that?
Ask Mom to give you the
Temperature?
yeah, the thermometer. I have one.
Dad's looking for the meat thermometer.
Oh, okay.
He didn't even say doohickey. He just said the whatever it's called.
A doohickey.
The thing. What are you looking for?
180.
Does that just mean it needs to sit longer, or is...
She's there.
So that's this side, but what about this side? Does he have to cook to the temperature?
No, that's it.
180 somewhere?
Let's hold it. Okay. Now we gotta do, see where Mom's at.
With what?
In there, we gotta clean up because I got tickets inside and wrap these in tin foil.
Alright.
Bring up the,
Aluminum foil?
yeah, tin foil and,
I look for it. We're ready. The 10th of ribs. Where's the aluminum foil?
Right behind you. Pull the drape to your right. No, wrong one. No.
My other right? This is my left.
To the right. Go to
So you-
no.
you're-
On your left, pull that drape to the right. All the way to the right. All the way to the right.
I don't know what.
There is a thing of tin foil.
Turn around. Ah, aluminum
There
foil.
you go.
Finds it. I'll trade you.
Put this back. The doohickey.
Which doohickey? Okay.
Picture doohickey.
He needs tongs.
Huh?
Tongs.
Tongs.
We're gonna have to come up with a brand of doohickey tongs.
I know. Doohickey is a word used for everything.
Alright, what are we doing with this? Kill the flame. No
What?
worries.
Let me know when to do the beans.
Go ahead.
Put it over what?
Do the beans.
Oh.
You want to start the beans or wait?
No.
Mom, wait on the beans.
Okay. Ask her if I can bring these in to set on the.
All right, Pops, ready to unwrap these bad boys?
Did we cook the baked beans yet?
Yep.
Okay, good.
So now we're gonna actually dice the ribs up.
Look at that.
How long did you cook the beans?
5 minutes.
Okay. You want a platter for that, or are we going to leave it just
No, just leave it on here.
Look at that. That
Beautiful.
is gorgeous. And those are some hearty ribs.
Yes, they are. Perfect. Beautiful.
They smell good.
My mouth is watering.
I wish there was smell-o-vision because this smells amazing.
Okay.
All right.
Okie dokie.
Want to cut up the other ribs or?
No, we'll cut that up as we.
Where are the hot pads? I'm going to take the beans out of the oven. Right there. Thank you.
Smell good.
There we go. All right, so today on Cooking with the Klopps, we have pork ribs, baked beans, and coleslaw. Mimi Klopp, Brent Klopp, and Brent Klopp. We're going to show you how we made this. Let's dig in.
Okay.